We are back. All right, what's up, fellas? We're back. As you guys can see up front, we got a couple guest faces with us today. Mixing it up, we got the boys with us. We're not going to do a lot of sports talk today because we just really don't have anything to talk about. As you can tell, there's not a lot going on in the world. But Thursday night, upcoming the 23rd, the NFL draft. First round kicks off, so that'll be my time to shine a little bit. And then starting Sunday, which I think is the 26th, I start 2021 preparation. I just finished I just started my notes for that. I've got 120, I think 25 pre-listed names out to study, so that'll keep growing. But other than that, I got really nothing else to go. So, Keanan, you want to introduce our home?
Hey, yeah, yo, it's your boy, Mr. Holding It Down. You get me, the big green. It means the goat is in town. Y'all know the drill, man. Stole that from LNS. How about that? Anyway, yeah, Keanan All-Star, thanks for coming back to Around the Leagues. We changing it up today. Nintendo ain't seen a Switch like this. You feel me? All right, no sports today. We got a couple Wabash guys with us here today. Guy in, well, they're both in beanies. The guy in the Under Armour pullover. All the way from Ladoga, Indiana, my main man, JC, Jesus Christ, Jared Cummins in the podcast. What's the poppin', Jared?
Hey, how's it going? I'm just sitting out here on my balcony. And actually, I relocated. I'm in Indianapolis now. So.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And then the other guy, also in a beanie, not wearing a pullover. Sitting there chilling.
It's pullover. It's technically a pullover.
Yeah, but it's not the Under Armour. It's not the Under
All
Armour.
right, well, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. I don't have anything real cool for him. Anyway, it's my boy Luke. I was trying to freestyle something off the top, but we're trying to keep it PG today.
Yeah.
So shouts out to my boy Luke. Luke, originally from, don't tell me, Portland, Indiana. Jay County's finest, relocated to Newcastle, and he's not in prison. Thank God.
No, not yet,
Luke,
at least.
What's poppin', man?
Hey, Keanan, good to see you, man. Unlike Jared, we don't have a balcony. We don't have that sort of money, but
yeah, big over here.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you guys probably get confused, we got two Lukes because the more the merrier. But
right.
We'll keep it. We'll figure it out. But
so the way that we're gonna do it today, obviously, Luke and Luke, and Jared and I, we all graduated from Wabash back in May.
Some easier, more easily than others. But
that's very true.
I think the other Luke squeaked by about as. I mean, if it's right here to graduate, he was right there.
So to kind of give you guys a little bit of a backstory on each of us, we all went to Wabash as freshmen back in 2015. We all met each other in College Hall, which is now, at least where I lived, it's now the Theta Delt House of Wabash. They all lived on the second floor, which is still independent living. Sophomore year, we all kind of went our separate ways for the most part. Luke Rouse, he went to Data Tau Delta that reopened on campus. Luke and Jared, they bunked up together over in what was it, Rogie?
I don't know which one it was. I think it was Rogie.
Yeah, we started off in Rogie, and then the next year we went to Williams.
Technically, I was in Delta Tau Delta.
That's true.
I mean, as the saying goes, once a member, always a member.
Well, I don't think made it to membership.
College Hall.
And then for myself, I had to take a medical leave. I was out sophomore year. I came back junior year, and then junior year, Luke and Jared, they were roommates for a period of time, and then we don't have to. Yeah, we don't have to.
Well, yeah, no specifics there.
Yeah, no specifics. But Jared, he went back to our old stomping grounds over in College Hall. Luke stayed over in what was it, Rogie or Williams? Williams.
Teddy was I still hear from Teddy from time to time. Teddy's a cool guy.
Yeah, Teddy ain't here though, so. And then I got back. I was in Morris, went up to Williams, and then senior year we all kind of reconvened a little bit. Luke Rouse. He went back to independent living. Went to Seymour.
Mm-hmm.
Jared and I, we basically split a suite bathroom in between us over in Williams, and then Luke was posted up in a disability room.
Clearly.
I don't know why. I mean, I get why they put me there. They probably saw my GPA if I had to guess. But
we decided yeah. So we decided we're just going to tell some stories from our Wabash days here, kind of give you guys a little bit of a glimpse of what it was like there in Crawfordsville. You have heard me and Luke talk a little bit about our experiences there over the first few episodes. But today we're going to kind of dedicate all of our time on that, maybe talk about Sparks a lot. And we'll go from there. So
shout out Sparks.
Wherever you guys want to start at. I mean,
real quick, I'll just jump in. So when I went to Wabash, obviously I had my brother, my older brother, Caleb, who's been name dropped a few times on the show.
Bubby.
He was Bubby. He was my roommate, and then so that was pretty much an easy transition. I knew who I was gonna be living with, and then pull up first day, and I see this little guy sitting next to me. Right, he's putting his room together. I'm like, oh shit, we must be suite mates. And then he gave us a hammer, and then that's how it started. Me and Luke Rao as homies.
Yeah, I don't remember what you needed to do.
I think there was like the bed, how it was like jammed.
Okay.
In the I guess in like the little ring that you hook it on. So we had to like take the hammer and bash it out so we can move the bed higher to make a bunk.
Yeah, and then Luke had come over, and I guess you'd have to know me a little bit more to know that like I like to be prepared and like I'm very organized and stuff. And so he came over and he's like, "Hey, I know there's probably no chance, but you happen to have a hammer." I'm like, "I got one right here."
So I'm still working for all the non-knowers of this. I'm working on getting my first tattoo. It's going to be a tattoo of a hammer to throw it back to my boy Luke.
I told him I'd get a matching one. So.
That's how it's got to roll. I've been waiting on it.
Awesome.
I was going to go get it, and I was sick the week I was supposed to go get it. So we'll have to find another time, but can't wait.
Hell yeah.
So now what?
Well, Jared was you guys were suite mates, and then Jared was like 2 doors down. He was living by himself. He was posted up. He had the life, man.
Yeah. Supposed to have a roommate. Supposed to have like several different.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys remember Austin Nightingale, but he was supposed to be my. I mean, you guys probably do remember. It's only been a year.
Wait, who?
Yeah, he was supposed to be my roommate, and then I got a text from him about like a week before classes started, or I guess maybe 2 weeks. But he was already there for football, and he was like, "Hey, somebody just moved in, and I figured out it's not you." So he's like, "You might want to like figure out where you're gonna be staying." So then I like got a hold of Dean Welch, and I don't know. He told me it'd all work out in the end, and then I did end up getting a room. It was like next door. And then my roommate joined a fraternity, so I was pretty much on my own, had a whole room to myself. Kind of nice.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Wait, now are we talking about Jared or Hunter?
Oh, yeah. So I don't even know how that started. So
I feel like it was Caleb.
It was
definitely him.
Yeah.
He just like he looked like a Hunter, so I thought his name was Hunter, and then he just started calling him Hunter. So I was like, "Hey, what's up, Hunter?" And he's like, "My name's Jared."
Yeah, a nickname that Jared always hated.
So, I mean, I still like today. I was talking to Caleb when we were going to play Call of Duty, and I was like, "Do you want me to see if Hunter wants to play?" Like, he knows what I mean, so it all works. But
can't escape it.
I remember the first time I talked to Jared. I think he locked himself, or he didn't bring his key, and he was locked out of the building. Like 2 weeks into the year, and I was like, "Oh, this dumbass forgot his key." So I had to go in and I was like, "What's up, man?"
A beautiful friendship stemmed from that.
I don't know how I met Keanan though.
Well, so
because you were downstairs.
Yeah, so I was downstairs. I was actually posted up real nice. So there's a little section of College Hall where you're kind of like only by yourself. That suite is, and that's where me and my roommate was. Shouts out to Sungum, you know what I mean. I know he appreciates having his name dropped. He's back from Korea right now. Hope everything's going well with him. But no, me and Jake, we had the same tutorial, And,
with Phillips.
That's right.
Yeah, so me and Jake had the same tutorial, and I don't know. I assume it was like, hey man, like, did you get that thing done for Phillips? He's like, oh yeah, come on up. And then it was like, oh hey, there's Luke, and then oh there's the door open. Oh hey, there's Caleb and Luke. It's like, hey, what's up, guys? Dapping everybody up.
Yeah.
And then I ended up staying on that couch probably, I don't know, 60. It was a lot.
Yeah.
I
You
remember
love
the
Jake's love seat for sure.
college halls where the FIFA and Madden ass kickings began.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good old days.
I used to, at the beginning, I was able to hold my ground, but as time progressed, I wasn't able to as well.
That's how it rolls,
Yeah.
We had, college hall was wild. Because, like,
It was so much fun though.
yeah, it was, but, like, I remember, like, there was downstairs, I didn't even know anybody. And then upstairs, it was, like, two sides of the hall, and it was, like, one side knew each other, the other side was all, like, the
Yeah,
rest of the team.
because even just like right across the hall with Logan and Duncan and Evan was there a lot, but it was like
and
just
Ben.
it was weird divide.
Was Ben with them? Yeah, they
No.
all four lived there.
No,
Did they?
that was a
They lived
triple.
in-
Yeah, I
was
think
Yeah,
it-
but they had all four beds in the common room, and then they had like the living room and the actual dorm.
Dude, I could swear that was a triple. I didn't think that was a quad.
It wasn't a quad, but they all
Yeah.
four lived there.
That's where I
Uh,
moved to junior year. It's a triple.
we got the expert over there.
Yeah, and Ben actually lived like in the middle between like Austin and the other guy, and then my room freshman year.
yeah.
There's like
they had a weird setup. I remember.
Yeah, I just remember like Ben was like, "Hey, I'll just take this middle room," and I was like, all right.
Oh yeah, 'cause yours was technically connected to somebody else's, wasn't it, Jared?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was like that's where you had your TV and stuff.
Yeah, so he never really went in that common room.
Yeah. Okay.
Which we used our common room just to go back and forth, but we had.
Well, you guys had your dressers and all that in there.
Yeah,
You
and
guys.
that's where we always duct tape shit and threw Jake's phone in there, and and you guys had, so Luke and Jake had like extra room in theirs.
Yeah, like
They had, a little extra like corner basically.
just because we were at the end of the hall, I think.
Yeah, just bumped out a little bit.
Yeah.
Which was nice, but
Yeah, slid the
Didn't have
bed
to-
back in there in the desk.
there was some good times.
It was. The only other people that I knew on the top floor, other than the aforementioned people, were Austin, Mac, and
Nick.
Nick. Yeah. Whew. Boy, some characters, man. I miss them, but man, they were some characters.
What's your guys' most memorable moments from freshman year?
From freshman year?
Well,
Yeah.
Oh shoot.
It's hard to narrow it down to one, I think.
Oh,
So what's this we got?
Mine, if you guys want to hear mine, I'd say my like most memorable moment is the night when we were at Sparks and we ate a whole bowl of cereal by ourselves. Remember that?
Yeah.
Like
not just the bowl, but
Container.
like the ceramic container that was just like,
yeah.
what would you say the dimensions on that were, Keanan?
oh shoot.
3 gallons worth.
I mean, it had. Oh man, I bet it was close. I bet it was close to 3 gallons.
It was
Because
a
it
lot
was
of
like-
food.
Got that
It was-
picture? We should pull it up.
It was like one of those.
I'll look for it.
It was one of those super trash nights, like jambalaya or something garbage at Sparks.
Which we
and-
had way too often, by the way.
Yeah, and it was like for those of you who don't know, we got into this thing where if there's any kind of trash, they had just had cereal sitting out, and it was like, well, I guess it's cereal for dinner tonight.
Yeah.
And then it was like, hold on, I think we could.
Dude,
think
I
we
found the picture.
Let's see it.
So the thing
I was
Keenan's
out.
holding.
So it's probably not 3 gallons, but it was a lot.
I at least had like 4 bowls of cereal.
Oh no,
I think-
I had close to like 20 that night.
Yeah, 'cause I think Caleb had 10. I had like 5 or 6.
Yeah, because I remember putting it on Facebook and I like did some kind of stupid hashtag like hashtag 20 bowls. was like,
Well,
whoa.
it was Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
No,
Cinnamon-
Cookie Crisp. It was
Was
Cookie
it?
Crisp. It was Cookie Crisp,
Oh.
yeah. But I remember I ate Cookie Crisp like every night for 3 weeks.
I thought it was Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah, I could have sworn it was Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but
I'm pretty sure it was Cocoa Pebbles.
I remember Cocoa.
no. Look at this. Keenan Allstott, hashtag fam goals, hashtag Cinnamon Toast Crunch, hashtag 20 bowls, hashtag stomach hurts.
And it did too. So it wasn't. I remember I used to use chocolate milk instead of the regular milk as like the milk for the cereal. And
Bro, if you want to know how trash Sparks is, their chocolate milk was a toss-up.
if it was good, it was good though. I'll give them that.
Well, it was a toss-up because it was, one, would they even have some in there? Two, were they going to be good or bad?
Yeah, and like if it was good, it was fine, but either it would spill everywhere or it would be chunky somehow.
Yeah, it'd be like spoiled.
Or like the poor
taste it.
lady, the older lady that was working there. I remember one day
You mean candy?
I don't know which one it was, but one of them went to put it. She went to like refill the milk, and she busted the bag and spilled it all over herself. Come on, guys. I just want to.
Sparks changed so much from our freshman year to our senior year. Like I remember freshman year, they had all these cereals, these different kind of like peanut butters, jams, and all that. It's like where if the regular food sucked, which oftentimes it did, like you could still like make it that like they had these giant like 3-gallon ice cream containers that you could go after. And it's like by senior year, it was like you couldn't get a grilled cheese sandwich out there without twisting somebody's arm. Like it was like
Well, and going
they had
off of
Burger Bar.
that, the late night
yeah.
disappeared.
R.I.P. man.
Yeah,
But they did
there were
open
so many
the other
times.
place. What was that other place called? The Scarlet Inn or whatever?
I didn't really
Yeah,
go there until senior year.
Yeah, they
Same.
opened that up for a
Same.
senior year. And that one,
Same.
that was. I mean, you had to wait for your food, but it was. I would rather wait 15 minutes and eat there than get
Well,
into.
the thing with Scarlet Inn, well, no, I think they opened it up later on, but initially you couldn't use like your swipes or anything.
Yeah.
Like, your Wabash points, you actually had to pay for it. And late night, I mean, it was like 10 to midnight. Were the hours for that?
No, it was like
I think it
wanna say
opened at
9.
8
Well, or 8:30 to 11 or something like that.
8:30 to 11. But yeah, like you'd be up like trying to grind some homework out, and if dinner sucked, which it usually did, you just wouldn't have dinner and you'd wait, and then
Chicken
you'd go get some
quesadilla.
late night. Yeah, they had some chicken quesadillas.
And
That was
then,
good.
yeah, when the Scarlet Inn opened, it was like it's the same food as Sparks, but it's fresh, so it's like somewhat good. But it was only open until like 2:30, and it wasn't open for dinner, so it was only available for lunch. Oh, what's up, Charlie?
Hey, what's poppin', man?
Charlie, that's my dog.
She loves
Not
the
my dog,
limelight.
it's Luke's dog, but
Yeah, dude.
I
Late
like
night was
fresh
so good.
first couple of weeks, like I remember thinking like the food was great. I was like, man, this is like way better than high school lunch food.
Well,
And then like, as time went on, it's like, man, I'd rather have those lunch ladies from Southmont back rather than. And then I remember I couldn't even hardly eat it, and we ate so much Wendy's freshman year. Like, oh my god!
I'm not even kidding. I probably spent over $1,000.
yeah, we kept them in business.
Yeah.
Over 4 years, I don't want to see my bank account statement from
Because
freshman year.
senior year, I think it was senior year that Wendy's was down for remodeling, but they were down forever.
Yeah,
And
and as soon
our
as they
friend
came
Jake
back, it was
cried every night.
Yeah, I'm just
There was
saying I'm
like a-
glad they had the 4 for $4 because, yeah, that fed me a lot of nights. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It fed me a lot of the
Paying
time.
And
$10
then-
for
3
every
times a
meal,
week.
a lot of money.
If it wasn't Wendy's, we would do B-Dubs Thursday wings.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that was every Thursday. Like
Yeah.
it didn't matter what was on the menu. That was Thursday every Thursday. Because I'd call the order in, and it would be like, all right, so it's gonna be like, I don't know, 20 minutes, and it was like, all right, guys, tournament starts in 30.
Yeah. Man, those were the days, munching on some wings and playing FIFA.
Yeah. And it was like, of course, like we all had like response papers or something due for tutorial the next day, or whatever homework we had. But it was, man, it just felt like freshman year compared to senior year, like Ah, man,
Zero responsibility.
Yeah, dude. Like freshman year, like they're just like, hey, we don't want you to transfer. Like, here's these 2-page response papers every week. Hey, you'll love it. And then you get to senior year, and it's like, hey, here's this 300-hour capstone that you might get a B in. It's like, well,
it's like
thanks.
a 10-page paper a week, which I get. It's weird. Like, obviously, as I said, I wasn't the smartest guy. My grades were very subpar. But like, I never had homework at night. I would just write a paper every single day and be done by dinner time. And then dinner till like midnight, 1 o'clock. I was just chilling.
Yeah, I don't know how you manage that.
I barely did.
Well, I know obviously, but like how that was able to work out for you, because I felt like I was always busy and doing something.
Yeah.
We told this story earlier this week on the podcast, and I want to see if you guys remember it. It was like a Friday afternoon, and it's like 4:55, and I had a music paper due from Akubia, and I had it was freshman year, and I was up in either your room or his room, and I was like, oh, come on, I need to get this in, and it's like I finally got it printed, and it's like 4:56, and I go sprinting out the front door.
Oh yeah.
I go sprinting over the railroad tracks and into the Fine Arts Center and turn that paper in, and I get back and they're like, did you get it in time? You're busting ass over there. I was like, oh,
yeah, I remember that.
Yard dash I've ever seen.
Dude, you didn't see him out on the ultimate frisbee field then, baby.
Oh, dude, no, man. So there's like 10 players on the team, and you do 7-on-7, and I'm like the most out of shape player on the team. Like, I can give you maybe 2 good up and backs. Like, I'm like, man, these guys are just roasting me. Like, I can't play defense at all. And it was like, who needs a break? Oh,
Your boy.
yeah, it's like, yeah, your boy here. And I remember we're playing Butler at DePaul, and there was like one female on the Butler team, and she was like mild, like attractive, and of course Luke draws her. And it was like, Luke, like, well, he's like, what can I say, man? But I also remember Rouse never cussed our freshman year. He was very he never did it. And I remember he gets flatlined in this game. Like, some kid from Butler, I mean, clotheslined, speared this dude to the ground. And it was like he deserved the break after that. I stayed in an extra one, just to get him off. But I was like, I came off and I was like, hey, how'd that go? And he's like, man, that fucking hurt. And I was like, whoa. And,
yeah, I went up for it. I aired out for it, and he clotheslined me, which he's not supposed to do, but it's whatever.
We don't play by the rules anymore.
He took it like a champ, man.
I did.
What
Get
class
back up.
was it? Did we have statistics freshman year?
Or
I think it was sophomore.
Yeah.
Was 201
I remember.
freshman year then? Or was 201? We had one of them freshman year, second semester.
It would have been 201 then.
It was an 8 o'clock class.
Oh yeah, you're right.
He would always wake me up. He'd be like, dude, we gotta go to class. I'm like, God damn it, it's
Yeah.
Tuesday again, and we'd have to go. That was rough, man.
Shout
That
out
was
Schmitty
rough.
T.
man.
I tell you guys, dude, I've never done poorly in a class. I mean, I've done like average. Like, I was getting B's and C's and at Wabash. So like, I wasn't getting a great GPA, but I was doing all right. Bro, statistics was whooping my ass. I think I finished with like a 62 in the class, and it's only because he was helping me.
Yeah, my back hurt from carrying him through that.
Dude, I remember we had a final exam, and I mean, if you know me, all my exams I'd be done in like 30 minutes.
When it's slated for 3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours. I'm done maybe 45 minutes. We get the stats, dude. I was there for 3 hours, and I'm like, I've never done this before, and I knew I didn't have any of the answers right. And I think Schmitty T just gave me credit because, like,
you tried, you stayed there at
like,
least.
he gave me like a 65 on it, and I passed. And I was like, that was not great.
He remembered that when you got the comps too. He was
Yeah. At comps, he asked me. He's like, so what do you think about stats? And I was like, no.
You're like, I'm just a
know that-
minor. I'm
know
a
that
psych
I
minor.
and I minored, and the shit was not great. I don't know anything about.
Jared's heart because he lives for stats.
I don't live stats. I really don't even use it in my job, like hardly ever, which is kind of confusing considering all the exams that I have to take for my job are about probability and statistics. Is it one day? I'm not sure. Haven't got there.
I'll figure it out. I read stats for work. I guess that counts.
Sure.
You're like, I don't have to run them. I just know how to read them.
Man, I took bad classes. I'm still taking bad classes. I'm taking a stats class right now, basically. I don't know what I'm doing.
Typical.
It's bad. Dude, we used to run back, play some hoops back in the day.
Yeah,
Well, me and Jared were on a team, though. You guys couldn't touch us.
that's true.
Shut that shit down.
Well, listen, the thing is, though, is that it's you and Jared, and then I had to pick between Keanan and Jake. Like, I didn't, or Caleb, or Mac. Like, I didn't.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I remember one time I played. Poor Mag. He gets so shit on. He played 2v2 one time, and he was there, and we were just like, whatever. So I took Mac, and we played a 21 like
his ankle.
Picked up. Dude, I think we played twice, and we won both games, and I scored 40 of our 42 points, and I was like, Mac, come on, man. I'm not even that good. I just need help.
Dude, speaking of Mac and Jared here real quick, there was a Madden tournament we did, and it's like a Friday night, and I'm like planning this out. I was like, all right, we're going to start at 7, and the title game will be like 12. And I'm like, each game's going to take like 20 minutes. Like, it'll be fine. Jared and Mac play this game where they don't run the ball ever, and they throw nothing but incomplete passes. The game takes like 45 minutes, and I'm just sitting there like, son of a bitch. Like, I was so mad. And the title game didn't go off till like 1:30, 2 in the morning. I'm like,
And Mac already bounced at that point. He had to go home. It was
dude.
a weekend.
Because it was a Friday.
I was
He never
run the ball.
saw a Sunday dusk or a Friday dusk at ball match.
Remember Johnny Pease our freshman year, man?
Oh, dude. Until they got.
I didn't like Johnny Pease.
You didn't like Johnny Pease?
No.
Monday Night Football, that came in clutch, man.
I like Johnny Pease.
I liked Arnie's better. Some people here don't because it gave him some trouble.
I really like Arnie's too.
I like Arnie's.
When I ate at Arnie's, I just borrowed that food. Keanan, you remember that one time, like senior year, I like went there with my dad.
Oh yeah.
I like came home, slammed your door shut, and you were just like, what's going on?
Yeah, so the way that worked, he's like eating with his dad, and I knew he went out to lunch with his dad. And the way that we used to do it, I used to have my door open and his door open, so that way we could like see each other, whatever, through the bathroom, or whatever. And he comes in, he didn't even say hi, man. It was boo. I'm just sitting there playing whatever game I'm playing on a Sunday, and I'm like, and he gets done, and he opens my door back up, and he's like.
It's like that scene from Dumb and Dumber.
It's like the toilet ordered takeout.
Dude, freshman year, I remember, did we go to Little Mexico? And we were trying to get back, and whoever was driving, I think it was Jake was driving, and he was taking
We always made Jake drive.
Yeah. And Jared's got his head out the window, and he's like, dude, Jake, please hurry. And we get back to College Hall, and we all sprint up to the bathroom and try to beat him to it. Couldn't have it. That was bad.
The thing about College Hall freshman year, especially on the second floor, is that all the wrestlers were up there. And I don't know who was partying every weekend, but there was just vomit always everywhere.
Like in the sink, in the shower, like, come on. That's like one of the things I hated about having a shared bathroom. It's just like you had no control over like what you're gonna walk into the next day.
Yeah, that was bad.
Heath gave me some good stories, but those are classified for now. Heath's my guy.
Luke, do you remember when you shaved my head in that bathroom?
Yeah, that was like very end of the year, wasn't it?
I think it was because it was second semester at least because we were in Drury's rhetoric class,
Yeah.
and I remember he commented on it.
Yeah, he was like, "Hey, can you shave my head?" I'm like, "I've got no experience with this whatsoever."
Because I had gotten a haircut and it wasn't a good one, and I'm just super particular. So like instead of having a jank haircut, I'd rather just have no hair at all. So I had Luke shave it down, and I was bald there for a little bit. It was weird,
Then he
but
came back with that flow though.
yeah, I had the flow.
It was
I
sick.
donated
The flow
that flow.
looked good. The flow looked good, man.
Yeah, it's hopefully on a wig somewhere.
Oh yeah, I remember that. We got it. Man, I wish we had Jake on with us. Jake is the most interesting person I think I've ever met. I texted him the other day and I asked him a couple questions, and he was just like, I was like, "Hey, dude, how's it going?" I literally haven't talked to him since graduation. He goes, "Fine." All right, see you, Jake. But I was like trying to keep the conversation going. He's just like, "I'm good. Yeah, I still live up here." Sick. That's awesome, dude.
Sick.
Just really
So
conversation.
sophomore year, Jared, Luke, you guys lived together, and then Luke, you actually lived with Jake over in Dell, right?
No.
No, so yeah,
Well,
so
they
freshman
were in
year it
Dell
was
together.
Jake and I connecting room with Luke and Calum,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then sophomore year I don't remember. Oh, Jake lived with Titus
Titus.
Edwards, and I lived with Ben Winicki in the New Martindale, and then do you guys remember him? He was a soccer player.
Yeah, he was from overseas, wasn't he? Or no, he was from.
He knew how to speak German.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then so I was with him and the New Martindale. We had a really nice setup. And then halfway through the year, he switched to IUPUI, and so I had the double all to myself.
that was
nice.
like the U room, right?
Yeah, it was like a horseshoe type thing. That was sophomore year. Junior year is when I moved into the Delt house for the first semester. I was with Bryant Hicks, Lucas Esparza, and Jacob Alanese. And
you fit their build.
yeah, it was like all these big dudes, and then me, and then I was abroad second semester, and then senior year was in Seymour.
Yes, sir, dude. He had the spot senior year.
Dude, that place was amazing.
Luke Rao saw some of my worst nights. Let me tell you.
I took care of you through them.
Homecoming 2019 or 18,
Yeah.
technically, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a rough one.
Yeah, so it's all good. That's what friends are for.
Absolutely. Man, it was some good times.
Yes, I love Seymour. Like going back to the bathroom thing that Jared was talking about, like we had 3 restrooms for 6 guys. It's like you just shared it with another person, so it was so easy to keep clean, and like you didn't have to tote your stuff back and forth. It was so nice.
That's what was nice. Like, so senior year, I was by myself. I mean, I had nothing to worry about. I just took care of everything myself.
Yeah.
Because Caleb's not the most cleanly person.
No, he is not.
And I mean, I like having a room to myself. It was sick. Plus, I had a giant bathroom.
You
The
did.
bathroom was bigger than your room.
Yeah, it was massive. It was a handicap bathroom. They had like a big old, like all this space for the toilet, and then they've got like an extra counter in it.
Mm-hmm.
I had a seat in my shower. It was awesome.
You also had that loud ass buzzer too.
Yeah, that thing sucked.
Oh goodness.
I did really like having those dorms, but like, because I mean they were really nice for college dorm rooms, but then again, it's like it almost like it took away some of the like social aspect because it seemed like everyone just like had their door closed all the time.
Yeah, well, because it automatically closed.
Yeah, freshman year, like we had our door open pretty much all the time.
Yeah,
it was like an open door policy because I mean you guys would just walk in, and then Austin would walk in too, but he wasn't as welcome. And
Nick and Mac and.
But like then we got to the new buildings, the doors just automatically shut, and they were loud. They were heavy doors.
Because I know I wasn't in Martindale freshman year, but I had a lot of friends who were, And like every time you went in there, which this was when it was really old and run down and everything, but literally you'd walk onto a floor and everybody's doors would just be open. Like
Yeah.
if you just see people walking and talking to each other. And then when I was in Martindale the second year after it got renovated, it had those big heavy doors that there was no way to keep open, and they were nicer rooms. Everybody just like stayed where they were, which kind of
Well, let
sucked.
me ask you guys this. I've talked about this with several of like the Greek community there that graduated with us. I felt like social involvement across the campus in general went down from our freshman year to our senior year. Like people were just involved, and you saw people out less. Like
I would agree with that, but I don't know if it could just be, something that comes with being there for 4 years. Some of the novelty wears off. Freshman year, you're trying to get involved in everything. You're trying to go to all the events. Like, I feel like senior year, when we felt like involvement was at the lowest, if we would have looked around, we probably would have seen a lot of freshmen like out doing things like we were trying to get involved. I think it's just as you go on, you find kind of where you fit in.
And we also just got busy.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a job freshman year, but I didn't have to go to it.
Mhm.
I just clocked in and then that was it. I could just clock in and clock out whenever I wanted. But then the next 3 years, I actually had a job I had to go to, which sucked.
Real world.
Yeah, I mean, I would just use that job money for Wendy's. But my campus job was awesome. I got to go to wherever I wanted on like any sporting event. I could clock in from anywhere.
Yeah.
It was nice, but it was just busy on weekends. It sucked. You didn't really have a Saturday free.
Senior year of college is kind of a weird time because you're like, I don't know. It's like you've gotten pretty good at the school like side of things, and it's just like there's a lot of work that's
Speak
there.
for yourself,
but, like,
buddy.
What?
Speak for yourself, buddy.
I mean, it's like like,
yeah, you're like
keep up with the
accustomed
work.
to it.
Like for the most part, like what professors want. So I feel like you get good at the school side of things, but then you're just starting to like focus on like the next step, and it's just I don't know. I feel like you're just trying to get out of there at that point. Like,
Yeah.
what was your guys' favorite class up there at Wabash?
I really liked social psych with Bobby Horton. And then there was a Blix class, a religion class I took that was the religions of Islam and other Middle East. So
Is that where he taught you the palm of the hand?
What?
For India, the palm of the hand?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Buddhism and Jainism and all that sort of stuff. Those were probably my two favorite classes. And then my freshman tutorial, I know a lot of people kind of had it easy with their tutorials, but I had Himzel, who's a lawyer and a hard ass. So there was a lot of people that would just be like watching movies and would have to come in and discuss the movies. But Himzel, we would have to read like 100 pages at least for each class, and you had to take detailed notes because if you made an argument in class and he would make you make an argument, you had to have page numbers to back it up and stuff. So my tutorial definitely broke me in and was not as easy as everybody else's was.
Yeah.
JC, what about yourself?
I'd probably have to say stochastic simulation with Dr. Westfall.
Oh, okay, big guy over here.
Oh my God.
It was just like a really interesting class, and it was like it was a math course, but it didn't really feel like a math course. Like we studied things like infectious diseases and how they spread, and then we'd like try to create like a computer model for it and stuff. And yeah, that was like definitely like my favorite class in like the math side of things. But I'd say like if I had to pick like a non-math class that I enjoyed, I'd probably have to say like maybe Psych 101 with Dr. Olson. I feel like he was really good.
Okay.
That's bold.
Bold choice there.
Yeah.
I just really enjoyed the class, and I feel like he was like a really good like speaker. Like I remember he was like saying like listen to me. Don't like listen to or don't take notes off my PowerPoint. Just listen to me. Take notes from like what I say. And I just remember like I'd like listen and I'd take like some notes, but it seemed like everything that he taught, like he like taught it in a memorable way, and I just like remembered it. Like I didn't have to study that much. I don't know. Yeah, I just felt like he was a good speaker, and it was interesting.
I took fatherhood with Olafson. That was one of my favorite classes, just like because it was so different. We're at an all guys school. We're sitting there talking about like the emotional side of parenting, and it was really weird. There was a lot of people in that class, but it was a fun class. But I don't know. I took some history class with Dr. Thomas about the racial side of sports or something like that, or like cultural side and all that stuff. That's been like helpful because I'm taking my thesis for graduate school next semester. I'm going to be writing, or I'm talking about the impact of culture and sports on society or something like that. And I'm doing Negro League baseball, so it like all ties back into it. So it's kind of cool that way. But I wasn't good at a lot of my classes, so they weren't very fun.
Dang, I like that. I like that.
Did you say yours, Keanan?
Mine. So, do independent studies count? I like those. Now, Dr. Makubia, boy, I loved every class I took with him. One in particular, I took a music instrument building course where I built a thunder drum. That was based off of like a Taiwanese thing. And Dr. Makubia, he's just so nice and upbeat, and I don't understand how he does it. In terms of what I actually studied, Dr. Schmitzer-Torber is gonna. If you were to ask him, he would tell you, "Yeah, no, this is false." I actually enjoyed his like behavioral neuro class, but he would tell you my grade indicated otherwise.
That was one of the toughest classes I took.
Yeah, I mean, he teaches the class really. I mean, it's a difficult course, and I mean, he teaches it different to every class, and so I mean, I really liked the material, and I mean, I spent a lot of time studying, and the way he writes his exams are, I don't know, I thought they were difficult. You may not have thought so. I thought.
No, I 100% did. I squeaked through with a B+, and I was so proud of that. I remember Quinn Cavan and we spent so many hours studying for that class, only to come out with B+. Like,
yeah, and I didn't get a B+ in it. I think I
A-.
No.
I respect it. Hey, I'm here for you.
Yeah, Schmitty T, he boy, he must have thought I was a terrible student or something, because he just, boy, he would be like, "Man, you spent all this time," and it's like, "Yeah, I did," and he'd be like, "Wow, okay." But then we got to comps, right? And comps, you know, he told me, and I remember he told me, "I just study the final exams from years past," and I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." So I studied like.
Are you talking about for the written part?
Yeah, for the written part of comps, day one. And so I'm like, all right, sweet. So I know about like I know like methods. I know like it was like I remember the cranial nerves and stuff like that, what they were supposed to do. And it was like we spent a lot of time on like drugs and neurons and stuff like that. And then we get to comps, and it's all sleep and
all
memory.
About sleep.
Every question was sleep and memory, and it was like we spent like a week and a half on it.
Long-term potentiation was talked about on almost every question.
Yeah, dude, I was like, I came out of that and I was like, I'm gonna have to retake it. Like, I just failed comps. Dude, I was so nervous. And then Schmitty T, he's funny. He let me sweat quite a while, because like he would be like I was running my project with him, and he'd be like, "Hey, how'd you think you did on comps?" And I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to redo it." And he was like, "Oh, I guess we'll see." I was like, and he was like, "Oh, well, you know, everyone who took biopsych and everyone who took behavioral neuro, no one who took those two failed, so I know it couldn't have been you unless you decided to go take developmental or something." I was like, well,
I don't think he would have asked you though if he knew that you didn't do great. He would have been like, "Hey, how do you think you did?" I remember I got my board and I was like, okay, I got Schmitty T. So like, he knows I'm not that great at this, so maybe he'll take it easy and like, nah. I only studied 3 things for it, hoping that they would be asked, and none of them were. So I was
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna know these 3 things down pat, and I'm gonna ramble for 15 minutes. They want to talk about.
You're like, if I could I direct the conversation to one of the things I did study?
It was
Yeah, and I love Schmitty T. I mean, he was my capstone advisor, gave me a lot of great advice, gave me a lot of opportunities. But he's a challenging professor, and he asks the very best out of you. And
his grading scale's awesome.
Yeah,
True.
you could have a question that's worth 9 points, which is weird enough as it is, and you'll get it back, and you'll get like an 8.13 on it, and you're like, how did you come up with this? Like,
oh man,
Brutal.
oh man.
What did you guys minor in? I'm gonna guess. Keanan minored in music.
That's wrong.
Really? You took 48 music? Oh, you didn't major in it?
No, I didn't.
it's religion, isn't it?
It was religion. Yeah,
Yeah.
I minored in religion.
I would have guessed. Jared minored in nerdology. Was it bio?
Yeah, it's bio.
Yeah, cha-ching. Luke minored in econ.
Business.
Or
You're
business.
close, yeah.
Yeah, I know a thing or two. It's whatever.
Yeah, I tried to minor in ethnomusicology. I tried to create a minor, and Makubi told me I was too late. And he was like, if you would have done this in October, we would have been able to do it.
I
Makubi
double
would have
minored
made it
in
happen.
religion.
So
I technically double minored in religion, but I just never wanted to like claim it because I didn't want it to be on comps.
Yeah,
Dr.
that's
Nelson
true.
was so tight on comps. He sent me a personal message after comps happened, and it brought a tear to my eye. He was very generous. And Dr. Nelson, if you're out there listening somewhere, just know I very greatly appreciated the kind words back then.
He listens to this podcast.
I wish I was like
Hope so.
better at understanding the religion stuff because like the religion department was so good. I liked every single professor I had, but I just didn't understand the concepts. A lot of stuff we were talking about, I couldn't keep up.
And the one class that we all had together was a religion class. So
Oh my god, that class.
Nobody wanted to sit next to me and steal off my notes.
Yeah,
I legitimately didn't write notes very often. I started taking on my computer and taking notes that way, but I would just open up the Bible on my computer because I didn't have it with me.
we had 3 Lukes in that class
and we all sat
on the back row.
Yeah,
because I sat next to Lukios, and he had really good notes, and that I would be like, man, I didn't catch that. Like, what did he say? And then Keanan was on my other side, who was also taking really good notes. So.
and then I was there next to Keanan.
Yeah.
See, that class
Jared's really good notes.
That was with
Who was
Dr.
in that class?
Dude, I don't know if we should get into it.
He called on me one time. I was just like, you must be talking to somebody else.
One of the
He
other
was like
Lukes.
staring at me, and I was like, oh, I thought you meant. I was like, somebody else, some other Luke, please start talking. So he's like, no, I meant him. And I'm like, why can he base my answer based off what you were starting to say?
What was nice about that is that so he was my advisor, and so like anytime he looked in our general direction, he'd be like, Keenan. I was like, hey.
The best part about that class is that if nobody had an answer, Lee would. Because that hand would.
An answer is a one thing, a correct answer is a different thing.
A response, I guess. He had a response.
I just think that if we think hard enough.
What did he say? There's one day where he said something like dumbfounded, and we all just like looked at each other like, oh shit, he's dead serious, and that's his answer.
Start off like something like, okay, so this God guy.
Yeah, he's like, this God guy, right? So he does this, and this, and everybody's just like, oh. And he said something about like, he's like, how do we know for or no, he's like, how many apostles were there? He was like, there's a lot of them.
Another story about Lee, which we won't completely drag him through the mud, but he was in a theater class that I was in. I did like theater 101 intro to plays or something like that, and we had to get into groups for a project, and I ended up with him and also Nick Young, who was in my fraternity.
Swaggy.
And what?
Not Swaggy P.
No, a different one. But we had to come up with different plays that we wanted to present on. And freshman year in EQ, we went and saw Fences, and I thought it was a really good play. So we were sitting there discussing, and I said, "Hey, I think we could talk on Fences. Like, Lee, will you mind writing that down?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, sure." And so he writes it, and he just writes fence. And I'm like, "No, Lee, like fences plural." And he's like, "Oh, gotcha." And then he wrote out the word plural. So it then said fence plural on the paper. And I said, "No, Lee, like one word fences plural with an S, like fences with an S." He's like, "Gotcha." Races plural. He changes the C in fence to an S. So it's FENSE. And I just remember looking at Nick Young, and I'm like, is he serious right now? Like, how did he get in here?
It was bad. I remember the time when you first told me that, like, dude, I was dying. That's just like, come on.
Like, yeah, where's your mind at?
I gotta give myself credit. So graduation day, I got the lowest ovation of anybody.
How do you know? Were
I
you
was.
measuring applause meter?
Well, I was just like, this is gonna be bad. Like nobody's gonna know who I am because I don't leave my room. And I remember Jared was like, I was like, who's that guy? And everybody just looked at me like I was an idiot. It was bad. I didn't like know very many people.
Shout out to graduation and the fact that it rained and we were like, yeah, let's hold it outside. Yeah.
Yeah, with our
we're fine.
sheepskins diplomas that can't touch water.
They fumbled around with that damn tent felt like forever. And I'm sitting underneath that oak tree or whatever tree it is, like right there by that brick walk that goes by Baxter to the arch. And like the drops are just dropping out. My khakis were soaked. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, it was something else. And then like I get up there and I forget who was bagging my diploma or my degree, and they just like it was crazy because it was like they couldn't get it in the bag. So
They're just like running it through a puddle.
Yeah, like they're like trying to get in the bag, and I remember who was it? Was it Hess? Shook my hand and he was like, "Hey, this ain't in the bag." I was like, "Okay." So like I'm walking off stage trying to get it in the bag as they hand me the rose, and yeah, I think Jared left.
Yeah, they did. I'm trying to send him back or bring him back, but I don't know what happened.
I saw his picture frozen, so he might have.
Yeah, this dude. We played Call of Duty like 2 or 3 days ago, and he's like, "Hey, I don't have a headset. I'm gonna call you." I'm like, "All right." So he calls me. He's like, literally, we play like 30 seconds, and he hangs up. I'm like, "Oh, what happened?" He's like, "Oh, my phone died." Bro, how do you see your phone's at like 2%? And like, I'll get through a couple games of Call of Duty on the phone. I was just like, something like in the silence for like an hour, like, what is happening? But yeah, we didn't win. We gotta get
Rails, let me ask you this. You freshman year, cats don't know this. This is a little bit of the inside scoop. You were originally going to go Teak freshman year with our boy Jake.
Yes.
And then you guys decided to 86 yourself out of there real quick. And then you guys went to Delt whenever Delt popped back up. What went into that decision?
To not join Teak?
Yeah, and to join Delt.
I think probably, so the reason that whole thing started was my uncle that went to Wabash was a Teak, and I had been up there a few times just to visit him and stuff, and it was a really welcoming fraternity, and I look up to my uncle, and it seemed like a lot of people in there were like him, so it just kind of made sense. And then Jake and I, for Honor Scholar Weekend, when we were rushing, went to Teak and we're hanging out there a while, and talked to people like you're supposed to, get your name out there. And we sat there for a while. Nobody ever came to offer us a bid. And so we left. Later to come, we came to find out that the rush chair was on his way down to offer us a bid then, and we had left like right before. So if that would have happened, it probably would have been a different story. But, you know, first semester is usually when a lot of the people pledge. And we were going to go in second semester, and it would have been a smaller class. It would have been Jake and I and like 2 or 3 other people. And we just really didn't want to get shit on and have to do, you know, all the work of a pledge class with half the people. And so I know Jake initially was the one to say like, hey, I don't think I want to do this anymore. And I remember I got super upset with him. And then it was like 3 days later, and I was like, yeah, I told him I didn't want my bid either. I think the reason that we decided to go Delt, again, originally we had like Luke Parrish and Kalen Parrish were going to do it. Jake was going to do it with me. You had some upperclassmen like Andrew Powell, Reno Jameson, Kyle Morgan, all those guys who I looked up to were going to do it. And it just seemed like a good opportunity to kind of, you know,
Dropping
start
all
something.
kinds of names on the podcast today.
Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah. We'll have to like add them when you put it on Facebook. But it was a chance to kind of start something and make a fraternity our way, I guess. So, you know, you wouldn't have to worry about all the things we were worried about joining something like Teak or a Beta or something like that. So I think that's kind of what the drive was there.
If you had to go back and redo it, would you have stayed independent?
Yes.
Wow.
I would. I made a small group of really good friends from Delt, but I just think like the benefit of Delt was that we didn't have to go through the crazy pledgeship, which is super nice. But because of that, you didn't have the brotherhood like the other ones did. So
Did you have to do chapel sing twice?
No, just once.
Oh, there you go.
But then like the converse of that would be like, okay, you could have joined something like Beta or Sigma Chi and had that brotherhood, but I'm not the type of person to want to put myself through that type of pledging. And you know, the best friends that I've gotten from Wabash have been my independent friends. So I think if I had to go back and do it again, I'd probably just stay independent.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have the choice.
Yeah.
I would have had a choice.
Yeah, you had the grades at that point. You just didn't want to do it because Caleb didn't have the grades.
Yeah. I don't want him to be alone his
Yeah.
year, so I'll bite the bullet and
A family of scholars.
Yeah, that's what they call us around here. So.
Yeah.
Hey, Caleb got high pass, didn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So
He
you
was
can't.
in classics, so I mean,
You can't knock
classics in
Caleb.
religion. I could have high passed that.
Yeah. Would have gotten distinction on those bad boys.
Oh man.
He should be about to graduate, I think, from wherever he's at school at.
Wow.
Yeah. You guys call us stupid, but we're both getting master's degrees.
Fair enough.
Not at what we got our original degree in, but hey.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of sad that Jared dropped off because I know senior year.
Where's he at?
Is he coming back?
I hope so.
I'll try to call him again.
Senior year, he had some real beef to pick with the school, so I wanted to kind of see, you know, now that it's said and done, and he's got a job and he's kind of settled, if what he thinks about it. But
boy, Jared. I mean, I hate to talk about this without him being able to defend himself. He was really bitter with the school.
Mm-hmm.
Our senior year. I mean, I think by that point, like I was kind of bitter myself, just because it was like senior year's coming, and it was like I'm like got all these classes and everything, and it was like you see all these guys going to the Cactus and everything every Thursday, and it was like I'm sitting there running this capstone project, and so like I experienced a little bit of that, but boy, he was super bitter.
Yeah, no, I feel I was right there with you, Keanan, because I remember in Seymour B, all my roommates were really into like Dungeons and Dragons, and they all had gaming computers. So if they weren't doing D&D, they were doing something online, and they would always ask me like, "Hey, like, do you just want to sit in while we're like, you don't have to play D&D, but just like sit down with us and watch us have a beer, or just like hang out in our room if we're doing online games." And it's like I had to go run the study every night. Like I couldn't just chill like they were, and I felt like, which I would 100% do psych again if I had to do it over again. But I just feel like the psych majors, we kind of got shit on with the amount of work that we had to do just for the hard sciences like bio and chem to say it's not a real science. It's like, well, you're not doing this right now. Like, what's your capstone look like?
Yeah, because even when you weren't physically running the study, you were doing analysis for the study. Yeah. And when you weren't doing analysis for the study, you were putting together talks and posters. And
yeah, like we had to go to Franklin College and do that symposium and like all this stuff.
Like, and the fact it was only a half credit, like I put in a hell of a lot more than a half credit.
Yeah, probably like 200 hours at least.
And I would say mine was more than that. But like I felt like every psych major put in at least 200 on theirs.
Yeah.
I mean, there was just no way you couldn't by what they wanted out of you, you know?
Yeah.
It was like for my study, I remember running time slots at 8 and 9 in the morning, going to class from like 10 to 3, and then running the study from 4 to 9.
Yeah.
And it was like I was doing that for weeks, and it was, oh man.
Yeah. Sounds rough.
Yeah, it was not fun. It was not fun.
I was a psych major for a semester.
I think you lasted longer than that.
I originally went to Wabash as thinking history, and I was like, I'll do psych because I like psych. And then I took statistics, and I was like, you know what, history sounds pretty interesting. Maybe I'll keep that.
I can get behind history.
Yeah, history makes your psych minor, but
you know, as you said though, I wouldn't have if I had to go back and redo it, I would have been a psych major again. But like the I don't want to say it's a stigma against psych majors, but it's like everybody's like, oh man, that's so easy. Like I could go there and be a psych major. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it was like, come and try. You know?
Yeah.
Like I guarantee, like if you don't tap out at like 201, and you'll tap out at 301. And then you know, like
it's a select crew for sure that makes it all the way through.
For sure.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah.
Jared said his phone died.
There it is. Wait, hold on. How did his phone die? How is he texting you if his phone's dead?
He probably put it on the charger and was like, "Oh crap, I gotta let him know where I went." I don't know why he's not using his computer. I'm assuming you guys are both on computer.
Yeah,
I am. Yeah.
Yeah, much easier that way.
But I usually shoot it on the phone in the truck, so I totally get where he's coming from.
I can just tell there's no stability issues. Jared's phone was all over the place, giving me a stroke, buddy. But man, we had some days back then, man. I remember our senior year, like once comps were out of the way, we played softball together.
Dude, that was so much. I forgot about that. That was so much fun.
Smacked one night.
Dude, speaking of comps, the day I found out that I passed comps, dude.
Valentine's Day 2019.
Well, it came out a couple days before Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
It came out like Valentine's Day was a Friday, and it came out on like that Wednesday.
Yeah, I think it was Wednesday.
Yeah, because I remember I got out of class, and I forget who it was. I think it was
because it was almost like leaked. Because like they were on what is it called, like whatever the ServiceNow Wally self-service. It was on self-service under the grades.
You had to like dig and find it.
Because there was no email sent out that they were released, but somebody had just like gotten on for something and be like, it was like, holy shit, my psych scores on here, or not my comp scores on here, and then like told other people and it got spread.
Yeah, we all started checking. We're like all like in a group chat text, and it's like, holy shit, I passed.
Yeah.
Then we get like an email later, like, oh, there's confirmed.
It was actually that Thursday. It was either Tuesday or Thursday because I got done with my art and film class, and I forget it was I think it was a Sigma Chi who told me. He was like, hey man, did you pass? And I was like, they're out, and he was like, oh yeah, this how you do it. And I was like, I feel my heart jumping, And then like it doesn't matter what you see, as long as you see a P, baby. As
Yep.
long as you see a P. And I saw that P, man, and I went upstairs and I shed a tear, called my mom, and I was like, "Mom, your baby boy's gonna graduate." And she's
They-
like,
that's awesome.
yeah,
They called
man.
you, right, if you fail.
Yeah.
Could
Yeah.
you, well, it's a good thing that they know your class schedule. Could you imagine just sitting there in class and some dude's phone rings and he just goes, "Oh fuck." It's like, oh well.
Yeah, Seymour. Everybody in Seymour B came out with high passes. All 6 of us had
Hey, there
high
you go.
passes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Man, look
Everybody, in whatever building and room number I was in, we all got passes.
Yeah. Hey, like Keanan said, all you needed was a pass.
Jared got a high pass.
Yeah.
In math, yeah. But
I don't know.
yeah,
Any majors that did. I think Heath Whalen got high pass. I don't know anybody else.
Did he?
Yeah.
Heath got a high pass.
Yeah.
shouts out to Heath. We're not.
I can't remember who else. There was some smart history guys, but
Jake-
Eric Lang got a double distinction.
Which is crazy if you think
Yeah.
about it. That is
yeah, no shit.
wild.
Yeah, because he was a baseball player too, and he's super involved in Fiji. Like,
Yeah.
he was a busy dude.
Yeah, man. But after like, so we got comps on that Thursday, and I remember like that was the point. Like we, like all of us, like me, you, JC, Jake, all of us, we were just going to like B-dubs every Thursday, and it was like I remember we all passed, and it was like, man, we were getting I shouldn't say we. You guys all said, man, we're getting toasted, and went back to the room, and of course we had papers or something to do the next day, so we didn't go too hard, but you know, threw back a couple brewskis and
Yeah, comps was a trip, man. I remember, especially for oral, is I had Olison as my psych board, and for whatever reason, he just terrified me. And I think I went at like 1:15 or something like that, and I couldn't eat breakfast. I couldn't eat lunch. I threw up like 3 times before I went because I was so nervous. It was awful. And then I got into Baxter, and it was on the 3rd floor in his office, and I knew I needed to get there at least a little bit early, but I didn't want to make it too early because that's just more time for him to ask me questions.
yeah.
I was waiting in the stairwell. I got in the stairwell up to the 3rd floor at like 1:05. I just hung out there until like 1:13 and then walked out. And I saw them all sitting in there, and I'm like, all right, here we go.
I had I think I had an 8 a.m. slot, but it was the last day, and I was like, nobody's gonna be up because they've already tested. They're all chilling, so I can't like text anybody when I'm done. Like, this is gonna suck. So I get up at like 5 because I don't want to risk not getting up in time. And you got to get ready. You got to dress up and all that.
Put your suit on.
I'm up at like 5. I book it over there. I get there at like 7:50 maybe. But I was also in Baxter. You know, there's like on the back side of the building, there's like the little half stairwell.
Yeah.
I was in like the top half of that. I'm like, okay, I'm not going up there yet. So I sit in like right before that corner turn by the water fountain.
Yeah, that's what I did.
I just sat right there. I'm just waiting, and Dr. Warner walks in, and he's like, "Hey, good luck today, man." I'm like, "Thanks, Dr. Warner. I needed that one." And then I can't remember who it was, but I saw another guy. He was like, "Hey, what's up? You ready for this?" And I'm like, "No, dude. You should know as much as I know that I'm not ready." And then I saw John something. He was a Phi-Psi lacrosse guy. Can't think of his name. He was always not bald, but shaved his head. Can't think of his name, but man, he's like, dude, good luck. It's rough. I'm like, that's not what I wanted to hear either.
Thanks.
So I'm just like waiting by the corner, and Dr. Thomas walks in from that side, and she's like, "You ready?" And I'm like, "God, I didn't know you were coming this way." And she's like, "I gotta let them in the room first so we can go over stuff." And she's like, I was like, "Do you want me to help you get a chair?" Because she didn't have a chair. She was like, "No, they'll get it." I'm like, "Okay, this is gonna be brutal." I'm like
I was trying to...
I'm like tapping my leg. I'm like, "This is bad." And then they put me in a room. And I'm like in the corner. The door's like right next to me. Like, I can bail at any time. I'm like sweating real bad. It was bad. They were asking me questions I didn't know the answers to. They asked me about drone warfare, and I'm like, sorry, Chief, I don't know that one. And then
Yeah, I think
I tried to text people and I was like, nobody's awake. And I'm shaking. I'm sprinting back to my room. Like, I gotta go to bed. This is not what I want.
mine was the second time slot on the first day on that Wednesday, and so I got done with day one and I got done with day two. I thought day two was surprisingly it was much easier than day one.
Yes.
And day three comes along and I just hear these horror stories about comms. And I got Schmitty T as my major, and I've spent the whole year working with Schmitty T. I went to San Diego with him for our project. I've done my capstone. I've taken all these classes with him. He knows me, and I know what kind of questions he's gonna ask. And so I'm like you. Like I wake up and I'm just sweating at this point. I'm just like, God, what is he gonna ask me? Like my heart's beating out of my chest, and like I'm dressing up and I'm putting on this tie. I remember asking Jared if I could borrow. It was either Jared or
It was
you,
me.
right?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, dude, I need to borrow a tie. And so I'm trying to tie this tie, and I can't get the tie knot right. 'Cause I'm so jittery, and I finally get the tie
and you
knot.
always do a Trinity knot for whatever reason.
Well, that's true.
It's a little tougher than a Windsor.
Yeah. So I get that on, and I walk across campus, and I remember leaving the staircase, and I'm like, the next time I enter my room, I'm going to be done with comms, one way or another. And so I get up to the third floor, and I get up there early because where Schmidt, you have those couches right there, and like I'm just sitting there, and I'm sitting there, my legs tapping back and forth. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh, son of a gun! Like I'm just so nervous, and Schmitty T comes up and smiles at me. He's like, hey, Keanan. I'm like, hey, doc. He's like, you ready for this? And I'm like, well, I guess we're going to find out.
So nonchalant about everything.
Yeah. And so, like, he's sitting in his chair, and, like, so he's sitting at his desk. I had Akins as my at-large, who's sitting directly across from me. And I had Nelson, who's sitting in one of those other black chairs, caddy corner from me. And I was really confident with the at-large because Akins was a music minor or a double music major as an undergrad. And I was like, she's just going to throw me fastballs on my music stuff. And I'm like, I'm actively studying the music stuff. I'll nail this. And I was like, I just got done with the class with Nelson. I'm like, I think I can handle this one. But Schmitty T, my heart's beating out of my chest. And so we get back there, and Schmitty T's doing that thing where, like, he's leaning real far back in his chair, sipping his cup of coffee. You know what I mean?
To me, yep.
Yeah. So he's like, and he's got the leg crossed. You guys can't see it on screen, but he's got the leg crossed and sipping on the coffee. And it's like, the whole time I'm like, boy, what is he gonna ask me? Like, I'm expecting some kind of trick question. He comes out meatball right over the plate. He's like, all right, well, first off, what is psychology?
I got that one too, and I was like,
waffled that question. I was like, oh God.
It's been like math.
Dude, I struggled so hard with it because I was expecting him to ask me like something about like neuro pathways or pathways for addiction or whatever.
See, I expected Olson to ask me some bullshit question like that. So I was like, I went to the Wabash website so many times to see like how Wabash defines psychology and like just rehearsed it over and over again.
I did.
Like, so that way, like there was no way they could fault me because I gave you Wabash's definition of what psychology was.
So I didn't do that. So I'm sitting there after I fumble my way through that question that takes like a minute. I'm like stuttering and I'm like, oh, well, it's I'm doing that stuff for an uncomfortable period of time. And, he's just sitting back there with a coffee. And I'm like, oh, this
he's
is
like
bad.
not even done with the question yet. He's like still talking while he's drinking. And then he's like, Then he proceeds. I'm like, dude, you are making this way too like normal.
Relax, yeah.
So after he sees me struggle with that softball, he throws something else over and he's like, well, what do you want to talk about? And so, I'm talking about stuff with our project, and like any like keyword or buzzword I can throw out there, I throw out there. And he's sitting back there just coffee in hand. He's letting me dig this hole for myself. And Nigel Dow won the Psych Capstone Award in 2018 for a neuroscience project that was very, very, I thought it was heavily bio-related. And I was like, oh, well, neuroscience is, it's like biology and psych, but, it involves like the brain and like the neural pathways. And I think it's more hard and all that stuff. And he lets me bury myself in this hole for a couple minutes, and then he's like, "So you don't think we should have awarded Nigel a psych degree?" God, I knew at that moment I messed up, and I was like, "Well, shoot." And I fumbled my way through some more questions, and at the end of it, he's like, "All right, well, Dr. Nelson, is there anything else you want to talk about?" And Dr. Nelson gets right into it, and I'm like,
And Smitty, he would like. It's funny because like he'll ask you a question, and as you're responding, he'll just go, Like, was that a good or a bad?
Yeah. He just
And,
looks
like,
up into the left corner.
Yeah, he'll like barely tilt his head and like, okay, I don't know if that was good.
Yeah.
So I'm like trying to read his facial expression. I'm like, I don't think I'm right. And then I remember I would go into a meeting with him every now and again just to like make sure, because I think he was like my psych advisor without being an advisor. So I would just ask him for different help on stuff or whatever. And I would just walk into his office. He goes, "Hey," and we would start talking. And he goes, "So what do you need?" And I would like tell him. He's like, "Oh, okay." Okay. I'm like, "Can you help me?" And he would just like sit there and like nod his head and just like, "Okay, yeah, I like that." I'm like, "Do I need some feedback, like stat, because I don't know what's going on."
It doesn't help that he's like 9'4".
Yeah, he's a massive dude. He's just lanky. I'm like, this is not great for me. But man, he was a good guy.
Yeah.
he's a really good guy. The times I got to be with him out in San Diego and up in Chicago, and the times I was able to be around him and his wife and children, like he's a super family oriented person. If we weren't talking psych, I loved being around him. But every time we talked about psych, he gave me a mini panic attack because I didn't know what to say because I felt like with every answer I was disappointing him a little bit. You know what I mean? He's intense. He's very, very intelligent. And it was like, this guy's so smart that he can't comprehend how not smart I am in comparison, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, I always felt like that. I always had my capstone meetings with him Tuesday at 1 p.m. and Monday night. And if Jared was here, he could confirm this. I had mini panic attacks. I would sit in my room with so much anxiety, like, oh my God. Like, I would go to bed super early, wake up super early, and then we get in there and we just play this game where he'd ask me questions I didn't know the answer to. And he'd be like, all right, well, figure it out and come back next week. And we played that game for like 6 weeks. And, dude,
I never had that issue with Horton for my capstone, but I always had those mini panic attacks for 301 when I had to go in and talk to Olson about my lit paper.
Yeah.
Like, because we had to meet him once every week, and that always terrified me. So, and that was just like a precursor, like finding out that I had him for comps. I'm like, this is just going to be 301 on steroids.
Yeah. And like I said, Schmitty T, he never did anything wrong to me. I mean, he was always very respectful and very nice to me, but just he scared the hell out of me sometimes, man. Like, I'd go into his, and like you said, when he does that thing where he like looks into the corner of the room and he doesn't say anything, and there's just like an uncomfortable silence for 5 or 6 seconds, I'm like, I don't know what you want me to say because it doesn't matter what I'm going to say. It's going to be wrong. Like, just tell him.
I'd rather not get caught trying to bullshit something.
Yeah, so I'll just be silent.
Yeah, and he knew that. He knew that. And but he always helped me out. I forgot, Schmitty T helped me out so much. A lot of positive things to say about him. A lot of positive. But one of my favorite professors there.
That was not necessary. So
one of my favorite professors there, Schmitty T was. Gave me a lot of advice.
Keanan, you're already graduated. You don't have to do this.
You know,
I know, but I mean, I'm being honest though. I'm being honest. Him, Makubia, and Phillips were my favorites from there. Him, Makubia, and Phillips.
I'll be a professor there one day, and then I'll be your favorite.
That's true. If that's the case, I certainly would.
Nah, that's too hard. Dude, it's crazy. You've already gone like an hour and 20 minutes.
I know. It's kind of
Jared failed on us. Typical Jared. Dude, Keanan, you got to get Call of Duty, dog.
I've thought about it. Like I said, I just gotta get that external hard drive in. But I'm trash at first person shooters. I'm
Dude, we all are, I
Yeah,
think.
it doesn't matter, man.
Just there for the fun.
Because then we can get to hop on like this and talk to each other while we're getting lit up by randos.
Yeah. we gotta figure this out, man. Gotta play some Call of Duty. Gotta do some. I still haven't decided if I'm gonna do Periscope next week or not, though.
The people definitely want you to.
I know, but so much work. I might do it for like an hour or so. The draft's gonna take forever, though. They said they're working on pausing the draft if the team's like technology fails. This damn coronavirus is killing us.
Yeah, it sucks.
Speaking of Corona, Rouse, I don't know if you care if we talk about this on the show, man. I hate that. I hate that we're not going to get to celebrate next month.
Yeah, I know. Well, it'll get moved. We'll celebrate sometime.
God, I hope so, man.
If somebody had to get their precious little wisdom teeth out, they could have celebrated it already. But
yeah, thanks, Keenan's mom.
Dude, I'm not even kidding. For like the next 2 weeks, I had 2 giant yellow bruises on my very upper inner thigh.
That was the first shot you took too.
Yeah, brutal. Right to the dick. Right off the bat. Not great. From my
I was wanting to be there, but mom demanded I got those wisdom teeth out, and I was like, all right, let's do it. If mom ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So
yeah, fair.
Oh yeah, but
man.
I guess that'll wrap it up. We don't really got much else to go. Got some good stories for you. Maybe we'll do it again in the future.
You gotta tell the followers if they've got any questions, specific questions, to drop them, and then we can come back and answer those.
Yeah, if you got like any specific stories or topics of stories you want us to go deeper on.
Jake and his ex, what? No.
Oh God.
I'm an open book. I'll talk about anything on here. I've been through some incredible things.
Yeah, just wait till we drop that after dark version of the pod. We'll have some great stories.
Would you do it again if you had the choice?
Do what?
Wabash.
Wabash?
That's again. I wish Jared was on here.
Boy, Jared would give you a good answer.
Because of the people I met, but
text Jared one more time, see if we can get him on for this question. I know his answer for this one, but I'd love to hear him say it. Would you, Luke?
I would.
You would?
That's what I guess. Like, people aside, like, do you think it was worth it to go through what we did, the rigorous activities, academics, I guess?
Yeah.
I think it helped me. Like, I think I learned a lot. And it was good to be like in that tough of an environment, but I'm not putting to use what I got or what my degree was for. So like that sucks.
I guess a better question would be: do you think you're better off because you chose Wabash?
Right now, probably not, but in the future, yeah.
So this is interesting because I actually had this choice, right? I had the choice to come back or to stay, and I made the choice to come back. Boy. The one thing I wish I could have done that I didn't get the chance to do, partly because, I chose not to. I wish I could have had the standard 4-year route that everybody else takes up there, where you take 4 classes a semester with 2 5s, instead of what I did, which was a 6.5, a 6, 5.5. I just wish I had more time to spend with people up there, because I felt isolated up there quite a bit between studies and running the studies and everything. I felt isolated quite a bit, and it was interesting because when I left freshman year, I was real close with you guys and Sungam and everything, and then when I left and got back, like most of the people that I knew, like half those people were gone, right? And so, and like you guys had already developed other relationships and were doing your own thing and well within your majors. And when I went back up there, like I was just in my room there in Morris, just cranking out homework all the time. Just I was miserable, man. And yeah, if I had the chance to go back and redo it, boy, financially it would have been a lot cheaper if I.
I get finances aside, Jared. The question is, I guess it was kind of a multiple question thing, but if you had to go back and do it again, would you still choose Wabash? / do you think that you're better off for getting the Wabash education?
If I had to
Give
go
us that
back
real
and
answer.
if I had to go back and do it again, would I choose Wabash?
Money aside.
Probably money aside. Probably not. I mean, I feel like for the most part, like when I was, I sit like, okay, so it is a liberal arts college, but I feel like my like skill set is more on the like technical side. Like that's why I like did the math major. Like I really enjoyed the math, like computer science and stuff. And I just feel like if I would have went to like a larger school with more like technical major options, maybe I could have found something. I don't know, that like more enjoyable, I guess. Like I did enjoy the math major, and I enjoy what I'm doing now. But I remember like freshman year and also like somewhat of sophomore year, I was thinking about doing like that 3-2 like engineering program. But then like once you kind of start like looking at the details of it, it's like you basically like earn your degree at Wabash, but they don't like hand you the degree. You have to like wait like 2 more years. And yeah, so like I feel like engineering would have been good for me. Kind of like something I was. Yeah, just I was always more on the technical side of things.
I'm with him on that. Like, if there was like a journalism program or like a minor, even or major, really, I would have been much better off, I think. But not having that made it a lot. Like, history did help me with what I wanted to do, but not.
I mean, like, what if you would have done an English major though? Like, you don't think that would have been?
I mean, it would have been, but it could have been helpful, but it wouldn't have been. Like, if I would have went to like Ball State for journalism, I think I would have been a lot better off just out of school.
Yeah.
Like, cause like right now I'm at Ball State now getting a degree in it, so it's just extra costs and all that stuff. But Wabash itself was all right. I met the homies there, so it was all worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if finances weren't a problem, I would say I'd probably go back and do it again. Just because, I don't know, like, I had to do a lot of growing up there. You know what I mean? Like, you go from this structured lifestyle to having to do everything yourself. And, I don't know, like, I learned a lot about myself up there at Wabash.
Yeah.
Developed a lot of character. And if the finances didn't matter, yeah, I'd say I'd probably go back up there.
Yeah.
Getting that sheepskin was awfully. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, which now is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
brutal.
Shouts out to the former president.
Right. He takes away the longest standing tradition, and then he's I'm out of here.
Nah, sorry guys, not mine.
Goodness.
But yeah, we got homies out of it, so there ain't nothing to be worried about.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that I enjoy, and there's also a lot of things that I hate.
I think the difference between, I guess, kind of Jared and Luke is that you guys had specific things like in mind, like Jared being technical and Luke, you wanting to go into journalism. Like those are specific things that obviously a specific degree would help with. But I think for someone like me and kind of Keanan, he kind of had what he wanted to do in mind too. But I came in biochem for pre-med and then switched over to psych originally to do nonprofit business. And then graduating, I went into insurance, and then now I'm working for a tech company. So it's like things don't always work out how you plan them to be. And like if I would have gone into some place like IU biochem for pre-med, it would have been a lot harder for me to switch and kind of go where I wanted to
Yeah.
at a larger school like that. But liberal arts, where especially Wabash, you don't choose your major until second semester or sophomore year. That gives you a little bit of time to figure things out. And even graduating, like, didn't do anything related to psych really, but I was able to sell kind of the soft skills and the people skills that come with liberal arts and kind of having a broad knowledge of a lot of things. What?
Gotta get your foot in the door.
Yeah.
I feel like that is like the hardest part. Getting your foot in the door is like, I don't know. I've never really been good at interviews, and then like after doing like so many, and then like there was some where I drove like 4 hours for. I did that a few like 2 different times, and I don't know. It's just like, all right, this one's in Indianapolis. I'm just gonna go in there and like give it my best shot, and then so I did. I was just like really trying to sell myself any of the other times, and I was just like, yeah. But I mean, getting your foot in the door is definitely like the hardest thing, especially coming from back then. But like once you get in there,
Yeah. I think as we progress, and kind of like you said, Luke, you don't think right now it's been worth it, but later on down the road you think it will be. I think just starting your career in general is tough, regardless of where you go. I mean, everybody coming out of college, besides like the people that are wanting to go into sales job because they're always looking for salesmen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it's harder to, light just went away. Like it's easy to find a job in that, but everybody else kind of struggles to get their foot in the door in a place. But I think down the road, once we're kind of more established, the connections that come with Wabash and all those soft minor things that we learn, I think those will be able to shine more once the technical piece is kind of taken care of.
Yeah.
If you guys had to give one piece of advice to any incoming freshmen at Wabash, what would it be? Don't all answer at once.
I don't know if
What's yours, Keanan?
Yeah, I think you just gotta like learn as you go. You can't really. I don't know if there's anything like one single thing that'll like help anybody.
Mine, I would say, obviously it's easy to say get involved, but more importantly, don't get isolated. They made a decision up there where they allowed freshmen to live in singles, and I think that's a terrible decision.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like, depending on what kind of schedule you put yourself in, like, it's so easy to get isolated and just say, I'll study in my room. And then it's like going from studying in your room to playing games in your room to like never seeing anybody. Like it's so easy to get depressed. It's so easy to get down. And it's like, that's a hard funk to snap out of. And it's
Yeah.
like, like, even if you're not big into the clubs and like you're not big into the extracurricular activities there, get in a double or a quad and like at least just have people to talk to because like it's so hard to get into like the counseling center there like on a regular basis and like I don't know like that was the thing that I struggled with the most coming back was like I had to be in a single for my sleep stuff but like my freshman year or my junior year especially when I was in Morris dude like I was just sitting there and I'm cranking out these papers waking up at like 4 in the morning every morning and like I'm just sitting there and I'm like sad, like I put a ton of weight on, and like I would just like I would pray Friday at 3 would come just that way I could drive home and like see my parents and like be around other people and talk, and then like when I came back it was like right back to the grind, and it was like if I could tell any like I don't care if you go Greek, I don't care if you go independent, I don't care if you join IMA, I don't care if you join any club out there, just don't get isolated. That like you make your experience and like it becomes 10 times harder the minute you lone wolf it out there.
Yeah,
without a doubt. So
I mean, like Luke had said, one of the best things that came out of the experience was like the relationships you get.
Sure.
So I mean, if that's the biggest thing that you get coming out of a place. You shouldn't neglect that when you're going through it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the most outgoing person, but like freshman weekend, like we moved in and stuff. I just followed Luke and Jake around basically everywhere, and
Well,
then
True.
I'm just saying those Saturdays up there, those Saturdays in January or February where it's 5 degrees outside and Sparks is serving trash and everyone's either going to see their girlfriends or they're going home to see their family. There's no parties or no events going on campus and you're just there till Monday at 8. Those are long weekends. Like
Yeah.
we're just sitting there, the parking lots are empty. There's nobody to talk to. Like if you're just sitting there by yourself, like I don't want to say it's prison because it's not prison, but boy, it's a lonely feeling.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like with the quarantine currently. Like, you can be around the people that you're isolated with, but I mean, it kind of sucks to not have the option to be able and go see friends
Oh,
or just
for
go to the
sure.
bar, go out to dinner or something like. So, I mean, I think we're all kind of feeling what you felt.
if you are isolated at Wabash and need something to do, cop a PS4. Come get this work.
Grab the homies and then FIFA.
Yeah.
That's I guess sometime coming up we can do if you guys want, we can hop on Call of Duty, do a little stream.
Sure.
Stream
Yeah.
it for the folks.
I was about to say we stream twice or we do 2 of these shows a week. So
Jared's got to get a mic.
It'll be hard to stream Call of Duty though. We won't be able to. We can stream it. We won't be able to talk as much about regular pod stuff because it'll be blasted
Hey,
ears. But we don't need it.
Around the Leagues is branching out into to other ventures.
Around the
We do our own.
world.
We do our own thing.
Nintendo ain't seen a Switch like this, cuz. You know what I mean?
I gotta figure out. So, I gotta find a schedule for next week because Thursday night we obviously won't be able to record anything. Friday night we won't be able to record anything. Saturday all day we won't be able to record anything. So that knocks out half the week.
Sunday afternoon.
Sunday afternoon, maybe, yeah. Wednesday I might be able to, but somebody's turning 23. So I don't know if I'm going to... I have to do dinner and stuff with my family, but I might be able to Wednesday at some point, and then... We're going to do... Hey, Keanan, are we going to do a regular show this week?
I mean, is that a question or a statement? Like,
it was a question. I said, are we going to?
There's a question mark at the end.
Yeah, I mean, I plan on it. I mean, it's in my schedule, but
what day?
Tuesday probably because I work the rest of the week.
You guys heard it Tuesday at some point in the day.
Yeah.
We're doing.
Yeah, we might go back to the truck on Tuesday. You know, the people been asking for it. You know,
we'll have to highlight the draft so we have one last draft thing in.
Me and Jared. I sent something to Jared here earlier this week, and it was about this time last year where senior golf was going on, and Jared, it like just rained, right?
Hold on, I'm gonna find that picture.
Jared hits his ball in the water, right? Hit the ball into a puddle, and I'm like, all right, here, let me hop out and grab it real quick. And then Jared, like, for some reason, still unbeknownst to me, he hammers the gas.
That's not even what happened. I did not hit my ball into a puddle. The puddle was in the cart path, right?
Well,
and
first off,
mud.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to the boys right there, man.
And I'll find the one of Keanan.
What happened, Jared?
They were like working on that section of the golf course, and then it rained, and so that like cart path got like mud all over it. And then Keanan's just like, I'll just drive right through this mud. And then he gets stuck, and he's like, all right, I'll get out and push it. Yeah, and then you're like, give it some gas, and then I just hammered it. And then he was like, stop, and I just like,
I'm just covered on one side. And Jared's laughing his ass off, and I'm like playing the rest of this around with hard ass dirt. It was funny, man. I think we went to win, but dude, it was so funny.
And there's that one time on senior golf, I chipped it in like Tiger.
Yeah, dude, that was crazy. He chipped it in from like 50. It was wild.
Damn,
Yeah.
dude, that's crazy.
Luke's like, I don't care.
We like catch phone catchers. Pretty exciting.
After this whole quarantine stuff gets over, man, I'm trying to make a trip up north to see all the boys, man. It's been too long, you know.
For sure.
What are we gonna do?
I don't know. Probably get the business out. You know what I mean?
We could go golf.
You certainly could.
Oof.
I could, or you could just drive the car and drink
We can
beer.
go to
Luke.
Top Golf. Boom.
Yeah.
That'll work too. We can live stream.
Vlog it. So I go to Top Golf with the boys, get a little smacked on some cocktails and whatever else they
If
got.
you don't send it over the net, then we don't want it
Which net? The net at the very back, or the net that's like right at the tee to keep you from falling off the edge?
either.
Dang.
You guys
Oh,
wanna play
shoot,
Call
man.
of Duty?
Damn, we got some boys. It sucks Jake couldn't come.
He's too busy being a priest.
Are you guys going to Bell this year with the new stadium?
If they have it, maybe.
I probably will. I didn't go. Well, we went to a bar in Fort Wayne last year and watched it live, which was fun. But yeah, I mean, a new stadium and it's at home. I'll probably go back.
Yeah, those mean $30 tickets or whatever they'll be now to pay for that new stadium. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'll try to go. We'll see.
I'll go.
We should steal the Bell.
They can't expel us.
No, they
We can
can't.
just get arrested.
We just look like losers, like getting it back to the old school. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
See,
They're
they,
like,
while
what the tie, man?
DePaul, they put it on the pressure sensors, and it's like all you have to do is knock out the camera system. All you have to do is put something that weighs the exact same and the same dimensions as the Bell.
The Indiana
and
Jones switcheroo.
like, boy, can you imagine how big of a legend they'd be if they pulled that off? They almost did. I mean, not really, but they got closer than anybody has in the last.
They
20.
attempted for sure,
They
yeah.
got it out the door.
Yeah.
Did they get it out the door?
Yeah, right into a cop
think
car.
Yeah.
They just went out the wrong door. They should have went out a different door.
Like, I saw a video of them like pushing it out, and then like as soon as they got it out, they like cop like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
They did get it out though.
They shouldn't have taken it through the main door. They should have taken it out some side door and then like carried it to like some side street and then just had someone else pick them up there. You know what I mean?
Well, you should have been involved on the highest, Keanan.
I should have.
Too busy running the capstone.
No, it was in the fall semester.
I know.
But it's like,
Preparing for the capstone.
well, I mean, like I went 3-0 in my time at Wabash in Bell games, so it was junior year this happened. But all you have to do is just get like your heaviest or your strongest football players and just have them carry that 400-pound Bell for blocks.
I'm just gonna say we did not win junior year, but the scoreboard says we did, but we didn't win. That 2-point conversion was a goddamn yard short.
Well, there was a lot of stuff with this game.
This one was
so I
bad.
guess we're even.
Yeah.
Paw to hell.
It was what we scored, and they said we were out of bounds, right? And he was like halfway in the zone. He was only 5 yards deep.
Right.
Brutal.
And then DePaul had ran one in, and it was like 2 yards short, and they called it a touchdown.
Sucks I can't use cameras, but it's whatever. It's D3 sports. It's what you get.
Yeah.
How
we roll. Well,
just crazy things go on down there at that stadium down there. I forget what it's called. Black
Cock?
What?
Black something. What is it?
It's definitely not that.
I can't remember.
Hold
Black.
on.
Black.
I only went freshman year. I didn't go junior year.
Black Stock.
Black Stock Stadium.
I was
that's
close.
right.
I got the black and the Ock part, so
BBC Stadium. Ooh.
Oh shit, that's great.
I was close.
Damn.
Well, guys, maybe here next time we got some we'll get some more stories. Maybe update you a little bit more on what's going on in our personal lives now. Thank you guys for sticking with us. I guess we're getting close to wrapping this one up, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so. This is the longest we've ever gone.
This is true. This is true. Look at us giving you guys bonus content. We
It's all
don't do this
people.
every day, folks. This is free content. This is how much we love our viewers.
It's free real estate.
This is, man. This is. You guys should be thankful that our guests stayed on as long as they did today.
Well, one of them.
My phone died. Because I have it on speaker while we were playing Warzone.
Multitasking. He's not committed. He's not committed.
He doesn't have what it takes. But
Man.
yeah, we'll get back to you guys sometime in the next couple days. We'll figure that out. Hopefully Tuesday, and then look out for some stuff on Twitter and Facebook from me for the NFL draft, and then we start looking ahead to 2021 here in 6 days or something like that. So
Yeah.
yippee. Gotta love draft season. But yeah, thanks to our guests for coming on, and then
Hey,
you guys
thanks for having us.
mention us in the comments, and we'll try to answer as much as we can. But thanks for tuning in. We will catch you guys next time.